Hi there, and welcome to this week's coaching tip. So I want to talk to you about the importance of thinking about the next 20 years. And this is so incredibly important for everything that you do inside of your career. You see, I meet so many people that are so short term, and they're always focused about right now, and how they don't have any listings right now, and how the buyers aren't buying right now, and how everything isn't going well for them right now, and how they're surprised about the things that are cropping up in their calendar right now. And what I'm going to say to you is that although you're so immediate, what you're not really thinking about is what it is that you're actually doing for the customer. And you know what? Everything that we do inside of real estate is learning to take a much more long-term approach and about how you actually have that level of energy to be able to get that level of consistency of what it takes to be a true outstanding performer in this game. And that's about having not just a long-term approach, but understanding about exactly what it is that you're doing and doing it so well that people actually are naturally attracted to want to come and work with you. Now, in order to do that, you need to start thinking a little bit about what's the level of service that I want to provide to people over the course of the next 20 years. And I want to get you to think about this, is that if you're relevant, there is no rejection. And I find so many real estate agents are just doing the wrong activities because they're not getting enough out of the simple things that they're already doing. Here's a great example. You meet so many people on open for inspections over the course of the weekend, but what are you actually doing with all of those details of all those people that you meet? And how many of them already live locally? And how many of those people did you actually get their address for? And what I find is that there's poor focus on getting the addresses for the consumers, which therefore means that you're no longer relevant to those individual people. What would happen if I could show you a question that could change the entire game? And here's a really simple one. And what you do is you just go, Hannah, you know what I'd love to do for you? If ever there's like a significant listing or sale in the area, I'll give you a quick call and let you know, would that be okay? Now it sounds so simple. So you know what I'd love to do for you? If ever there's a significant listing or sale in the area, so you know what I'd love to do for you? That's the bit, love to do for you. If ever there's a significant listing, so the word significant means I'm not going to call you about everything. I'll give you a quick call, so it's not going to be a long call. I'm going to give you a quick call and let you know, would that be okay? Who's going to say no to that? And now all of a sudden what you do is you're now getting like an incredible level of conversion to get all of the address details for all of the people, because now you then just lace that next sentence in. Great, so that I'm relevant, what street are you guys in? And then I can give you the call about stuff that happens in your area. Oh, you're in Jones Street. What number there? 34, great spot. And let me ask you this question. If ever you did move from there, why would that be? And all of a sudden the answer to that question is now the motivation, the underlying reason, the thing that now you can now go and chase as a great agent. You do this, you build a great database, now you're in a position that you can really get that clarity for growth. And that's what great agents do. They actually start to think about more of that medium to long-term approach and understanding that you just can't get old in this industry where you're tired and exhausted and over it and done with it and negative about where people are at. And you've got to learn to adapt to change. And this change leadership position is about getting really clear that people buy your energy, they buy your tenacity, and it's your ability to adapt that makes a massive difference. Let's talk about what you do differently right now to start to understand how the consumer's thinking. Now, I look inside of every real estate agent's pitch right now on marketing, and one of the things that I've identified is that very few people are talking specifically about the social retargeting that they do of consumers. So they make sure that they've actually got the ads for the properties in and around specifically those consumers that are going through all of their social media feeds. Now, this is some staggering results that came from domain.com.au that said that 68% of consumers actually buy or sell within 5 kilometers of where they already live today. So if you want to attract me as a consumer to be a potential seller, then what you need to do is you need to list the aspirational home in my area, the one that I want to move up into, have that on the social feed because I'm not even in real estate mode. I'm scrolling through social, all of a sudden I see the perfect home, and guess what happens? Now I'm in a position where I'm actually considering moving into that property. This is now the shift. When I go and inquire on that home, I'm now a potential seller, and you're actually in the position that you can actually help me to make a much, much better decision. And that's what a great agent does. You see, they understand how to adapt. They understand the importance of change, but most importantly, they understand what they're doing for the customer. And this is the difference between the transaction and the transformation. You know, like when I see agents go out and they say, hey, I've done 100 sales this year. It's very different to actually communicating that to your consumer. What would happen if you said, you know what? I helped 35 people through some really difficult circumstances of divorces. I helped 20 people who made the decision to move because they had babies. I helped 35 people make that decision to move to downsize after their kids had gone to university. And I was in a position that I helped 15 people make that decision to leave their final home and move to an assisted care nursing home. These were sometimes tough decisions for people. And no matter where you're at and what it is that you're doing, I'd love to be able to help you in this transformation, in this next major stage of your life. You see the difference about what we're doing here? You see, it's not about you. It's about what you do for the customer. And that's the reason why people choose you. I really hope that you've enjoyed this week's coaching tip, and I look forward to seeing you next week.